1, yo man, Houston just flipped Takeoff's court date again, and you already know how this goes. It's a whole roller coaster out here. So let me break it down for y'all real quick, put you on game, and tell you exactly where we at with this mess. First off, his next court date is set for November 12th, 2025. But in Houston, you know how slow the justice system moves, so don't be surprised if it gets pushed again. From the jump, it's been nothing but paperwork, attorney fee vouchers, DCA case reset forms, amended pretrial supervision orders, bond conditions, you name it. Every single day, something new pops up. Takeoff's been grinding even behind all this, trying to stay out the streets, keep his money flowing, and just maintain some sense of normalcy while the legal machine slowly creeps along. And you know how it goes. Some of the restrictions have been lifted so he can get his bag, but at the same time, the system ain't making it easy. We're talking Brady notices, exhibits, expense claims, and all this pretrial chaos that makes your head spin. Every little piece of paper, every little filing tells a story, and the truth is, this has been building up for years before anyone even thought it would reach this level. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. All the filings, all the legal motions, it's like watching chess moves on a grand scale. Houston has been busy, no doubt, but the delays, the procedural stuff, it's enough to frustrate anybody. Originally, they were supposed to have a pre-trial back in November, but now it's moved to December 10th and 12th, and even that might get delayed again. Texas justice don't move like it should. Look at Mo 3's case, it's still dragging, and people are losing patience. Takeoff's in a situation where he's gotta navigate these streets in the courtroom at the same time. Every step he takes, every move he makes, he's gotta be smart, because one wrong step in this system, or on the streets, could cost him more than just time. It could cost him freedom, and that's why this is so real. It ain't just about the court date, it's about survival, about keeping yourself intact while the world around you tries to catch you slipping. That's the vibe in Houston right now, and you can feel it if you've been following the culture, the courts, and the music scene intertwined. Here's where it gets deeper. The system has been flawed for a minute. Contaminated DNA, mishandled evidence, procedural mistakes, but it's all part of the story. The Karen Reed case? Perfect example of what goes down when the streets meet bureaucracy. Cups, bottles, mishandled evidence, messed up chains of custody. It all plays into the narrative that black men get convicted first and questioned later. Takeoff's case might get caught up in some of that too. The courts are supposed to be blind, right? But blind justice in reality moves slow, makes mistakes, and forces the people in it to fight twice as hard for their rights. And this is why you gotta respect the grind. Takeoff and his team, his lawyers, everybody trying to navigate this mess while the streets don't stop. This is survival, rap culture style, real life in America, and it's raw. Ain't no editing, no gloss, just the system, the streets, and a young artist trying to survive all of it. 2-8. Now let's break down what really went down. From what's been alleged, Takeoff and Quo were there when things popped off. You already know Quo, always running his mouth, trying to flex, and that energy sometimes sparks the chaos. Next thing you know, little dude gets pushed, someone swings, and boom. Patrick Xavier Clark allegedly pulls his piece. Now it's a self-defense claim in the mix. That's the tricky part. You gotta consider proximity, size, and the way the confrontation escalated. One wrong word, one wrong move, and it all blows up. The streets see it differently than the law does, and the law sees it differently than the culture does. This is why Takeoff's legal team gotta be on point. They're not just fighting for his freedom, they're fighting for his reputation, his career, his legacy. Every angle matters. Every frame of video, every witness statement, every alleged provocation. One slip and it could get ugly. And let me paint the picture real quick. You got multiple people with firearms, voices flying, adrenaline pumping, and social media watching every second. One dude starts swinging, another dude responds, and the chaos unfolds. It's raw, uncut, and messy. The streets always talk, but the courtroom speaks differently. Self-defense claims, technicalities, and procedural maneuvers are the reality. Even when everybody in the culture knows what really went down, that's the double life artist live. On one hand, the music, the grind, the fame. On the other hand, real life danger, violence, and the law breathing down your neck. Takeoff's situation is a perfect example. He's talented, he's respected, but the system is testing him, testing his team, testing his family, and testing the culture watching from the outside. And we all see it. One move could shift the entire outcome. And while this is happening, the public narrative is wild. Headlines jump, opinions fly, and a lot of people are quick to judge without knowing the facts. The truth is layered. DNA evidence might be mishandled, video footage could be contested, and witnesses' accounts vary. Houston's history is full of cases where procedural mistakes have changed the outcome, so you can't just assume guilt. But in rap culture, we feel it in our bones. The tension, street justice, social commentary, all rolled into one. Takeoff's case is more than legal, it's cultural. It's a reflection of how the streets, the courts, and the music industry collide, and how a young artist has to navigate all that while keeping his life intact. And now, with social media amplifying every rumor, every clip, every comment, the stakes are even higher. Fans are watching, critics are talking, everything, and the courtroom has to consider public pressure as much as the law. Takeoff's legacy, the safety of his crew, and the perception of hip-hop culture itself are on the line. That's the story, that's the struggle, and that's why everybody watching stays glued, waiting to see what happens next. This isn't just a trial, it's a lesson in survival, fame, and the collision between the streets and the system, and the outcome could ripple through the culture for years to come. So now we wait, right? Court date is set, maybe gets pushed, lawyers staying sharp, and Takeoff staying aware. The stakes ain't just legal, they're cultural. It's about survival, legacy, and reputation. Every little misstep, every mismanaged piece of evidence could tip the scales. Patrick Xavier Clark's involvement, Quo running his mouth, the little confrontations, it all matters. And it's not just about blame. Street mindset teaches that actions have consequences, and what happens in that room or on the streets can't always be undone. Takeoff's team knows this, and that's why strategy is key. Legal finesse meets cultural awareness, every angle covered. It's like playing chess with real life and public perception, watching every move. You misstep, the media jumps, the fans speculate, and the opposition tries to spin it. Every single action has a ripple effect, and in hip-hop culture, perception is half the battle. Think about it. The Houston system is slow, flawed, and sometimes chaotic, but the grind continues. Takeoff and his people gotta move like chess pieces, anticipating the courts, anticipating social reactions, and anticipating the streets. Every document, every motion, every procedural delay is part of the story now. It's part of the legacy. And while we watch from the sidelines, it's a lesson in survival, patience, and calculated moves. This isn't just one case. It's a reflection of systemic issues, street realities, and the way fame intersects with danger. DNA, video evidence, witness testimony, it's all a chessboard, and Takeoff's life is on the table. Fans, street peers, and other artists are watching, knowing that every decision shapes more than just this moment. It shapes a blueprint for others who navigate fame, the law, and real-life threats simultaneously. This isn't just legal strategy, it's culture strategy. It's understanding when to speak, when to move, when to let the law handle itself while you stay focused on survival, music, and legacy. Every delay, every pushback in court, every media headline adds fuel to the narrative, and Takeoff has to stay sharp because the streets and the culture never sleep. At the end of the day, this is the story of rap culture, survival, and the streets colliding with law. It's about strategy, patience, and the hustle, on the mic, in the streets, and in the courtroom. Takeoff isn't just fighting for his freedom, he's navigating the pressure of the culture, the weight of the streets, and the scrutiny of the public eye. And we all gotta watch because how this unfolds will send ripples through music, law, and community. Whether it's self-defense, mismanaged evidence, or technicalities, the story isn't over. Fans, artists, and observers alike are learning from this, how the streets intersect with law, how reputation can sway perception, and how one incident can define a legacy. Takeoff's case is now a blueprint for understanding the balance between hustle and caution, fame and responsibility, music and reality. The stakes are high, the tension is real, and the outcome will define more than just a court case. It will define a chapter in hip-hop and street culture history that everybody's paying attention to. And when the gavel finally drops, it won't just be about guilt or innocence, it'll be about survival, street smarts, legacy, and the relentless grind that hip-hop culture demands every day. On top of that, it's a reminder that every artist, every individual in this world has to navigate systems that are bigger than themselves. Courts, cops, critics, and fans all converge, creating pressure that tests your focus, your patience, and your ability to keep moving forward without losing yourself. This is bigger than music. It's life, strategy, and reputation, all wrapped into one. And Takeoff's journey is proof that surviving in this environment isn't just about talent. It's about calculated moves, endurance, and keeping your eyes on the prize no matter how messy the world around you gets.